Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to Clutch Gen eSports League of Legends tournament here, and we are in the grand finals. We actually have two really good teams facing off in this best of three round. We have on the blue side none other than Noob Alliance's strongest team, nA.Phase. And on the red team, we have none other than PnX Red, who have surprisingly come up the ranks over the last couple of tournaments. Especially, they had a very good run last year coming into SLCG. They actually made it all the way to the final, which is quite a big deal for them. So they'll be looking to try and secure their first ever tournament win as first place, but not if nA.Phase have something to say about that. So I'm joined here with my co-caster, the Unseen Blade. My name is Hades, of course. Unseen Blade, so say hi to the spectators and tell us what you think of this matchup so far.
Yes, of course, guys. Welcome everyone to the Climb series. And yeah, this match is awaited. I've been shadowing both the teams, and both the teams have shown astounding performance in their matches. So I'm expecting a lot from both teams. Both teams have good macro. They have shown to both teams are late game dominant teams. So I'm just waiting on how they are gonna draft it, how they are gonna do it. So I'm just waiting. Take out the first phase of ban. So what do you think about the first phase of bans on the side of?
Yeah, on the side of nA.Phase, I feel like they've targeted nWay's Taric, because he played a really good Taric in the last game, and the Annie ban is obviously directed at Kassa, who plays that champion a lot. He roams a lot with the Annie, especially he runs Predator, just tries to hit level 6 and just roam around and cause chaos around the map. And Swain, I guess, is an understandable pick because nishastic is not afraid to actually bring that pick out as a mid laner or even in the top lane. Whereas on the side of Red, you can understand the Yorick ban is obviously targeted at Candy Panda, one of his strongest champions, and in this current meta is, especially in since patch 9.5, has been incredibly strong. And the Malzahar ban, I guess, is also good to take away from Saber, because Saber is very comfortable on the champion and knows what he's doing. Lucian is targeted at Kratos because I'm guessing he's performed really well on this champion during this tournament. So talk to me about the picks here. We can see that Lemonades has gotten his signature Vayne, his most played champion, and nishastic has actually taken the Renekton, who is very dominant in the early game and has shown in this current meta that he can be a very strong champion, especially with the Spear of Sojin as a core item. Now, what do you have to say about the answer in the Eloy first pick, and now most probably going to be a Xayah Rakan bot lane?
The thing is, Xayah, it feels a little bit weak to me. Even though Xayah Rakan is very strong, pick early, there was nerfs for Rakans, the combination where they run, the W synergy was so good before few patches ago. It was nerfed. We might
actually have a DC here. We are not seeing a pick from the side of Red here. I have a feeling somebody might have timed out.
I'm not sure. Let's hold up for it. But Xayah is Xayah feels a little bit weak, but she is strong as as of 9.6. She did get that W buff, but
Yep.
Let's see how it goes. And they have a more.
I was going to talk about that. I was going to talk about the fact that her late game now has placed her in a position where she's so much more stronger than she was before. Xayah is one of those, I think probably the only ADC now that actually goes a full 100% crit build. And with that increased attack speed and the attack speed steroid you get from the double, you will be able to absolutely shred squishy targets on the side of nA.Phase. But I mean, it is a Xayah versus a Vayne, so everybody knows that if you let a Vayne get past 3 items, it's just gonna be almost impossible to pin her down, especially with a team that can peel for the Vayne. And from what I see, they have balanced out their early game and their late game pretty well with the Vayne and the Renekton. Renekton excelling in the early, Vayne excelling in the late game, and Morgana, there's a black shield to keep the Vayne safe, from Rakan's engage. So it's gonna be very interesting to see.
It's the greatest enemy.
Yeah, that's right. Because as I was expecting them to bring out Morgana, because Morgana is a really good pick in here, because they are gonna target Lemonade's Vayne. So I believe there's some sort of plan on the side of FaZe, because they did let Lemonades get Vayne So it's a good thing that they did bring out Morgana, and they're also bringing out Poppy, which is like, it's like indirect saying for the side of Saber that you can't go Irelia this game. If you go Irelia, you're gonna have problem. But shouldn't the only problem I have is them picking Xayah. In case Xayah depends a lot in her mid to early game on landing her feather calling, which in case of Vayne, she can easily tumble away. And as I've seen a lot of Lemonade's play, he's pretty good at dodging too. So this might be pretty, really hard. So I'm wondering what they have planned as their draft, because that whole team comp depends on team fighting. And on the side of, Team Red, they can do like pretty small skirmishes as well, because they are independently strong, as well as they have good team fight. We see Saber bringing out Vladimir. What do you think about that?
Vladimir has been locked in also alongside a Sejuani in the jungle. So this is a very strong 4-man skirmishing team fight combination that they have with the Eloy on the split push. So, I mean, when I look at this team, I can see them absolutely destroying team fights. But however, I have to say that the Poppy pick was actually... Oh,
did you see that?
Oh, we have a Nico locked in here by Cussa. Now, that is not something I was expecting to see. Now, as everybody knows, AD Nico has been a thing, especially in 9.5. But coming to 9.6, they've kind of nerfed her a little bit. But I'm guessing we're going to see an AP Nico here in the mid lane. And I guess Nico is okay into the Vladimir matchup, because Vladimir does have a bit of a slightly weak early game, and Nico is a bit stronger in the early trades. But if she is able to get a Morello Nomicon as soon as possible, that'll definitely cut a lot of pressure off this Vladimir in the mid lane. But now, what I'm surprised to see is that you're bringing up the bot lane matchup, the Morgana Vayne versus Xayah Rakan. I'd say obviously the favor is in the side of Morgana and Vayne. However, the synergy is not really the best. Whereas if they wait out the duration of the Black Shield and then pick the perfect time to engage, especially if Morgana she can use Black Shield on herself as well as on the Vayne. So if she was to use it on the Vayne, they could immediately switch targets and focus the Morgana, because she's very squishy. And with the help of, like a Sejuani, especially in the early game, they might be able to, because you said their game plan is going to be, their win condition is to probably, get their carries fit. And that would be to get Saber and Xayah, rather say the Vladimir and the Xayah fed in the early game, so that they would, have an easier time scaling into the mid game. But because anyways, Eloy doesn't really need a lot of ganks. She'll be okay in the top lane. I mean, it all depends on how it's played out and what the early rotations are from both junglers. But I feel like a very important factor here would be Poppy's role in making sure that this hard engage that the side of nA.Phase has is going to be weakened a lot with her, with her W, because it'll be able to block Rakan's engage, it'll be able to block Sejuani's engage, or even prevent them from, escaping if she lands properly. And the Poppy ultimate, of course, the keepers where they can always turn the tides in a team fight in favor of the team that the Poppy is on by just knocking away some of the members and immediately turning a 5v5 into like a 3v5. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And I'm not too surprised, to see the final bans as well. I mean, I see Lissandra and Jarvan being banned out, two very strong champions in the current meta, and has been, played across all regions at world, in the LCS, in the LEC, LCK, and LPL. So I mean, this is really exciting stuff. I mean, they're getting to see Cussa play Nico against Saber versus Vladimir. This is going to be really exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are looking forward to it. And if you just join us, this is the Clutch Gen eSports the Climb tournament grand final best of 3. This is just Sri Lankan League of Legends at its very best. We're still in the amateur league, but I'm sure that these teams will give you a good show. So keep it locked and stay tuned, because we'll be bringing you more action very soon. Whew. Yikes. Oh, silence. Am I talking to myself?
Oh, no, yeah.
Okay.
Hold up, I'm a little bit preoccupied. Yeah, before we get into the actual game, let's talk about the runes. So, that is still 21 seconds until we get into the game. So what do you think Poppy is going to bring in as a rune? Is she going to go for Grasp? Is she going to go for Predator? What do you think she's going to bring out?
Well, I have a feeling she might go for the Aftershock. because it gives her those extra tank stacks and also gives her a bit more added damage. And
I mean,
you know,
I'll bet for Predator because fingers crossed. Let's see. I mean, I want
Predator Poppy is
I
also
want
kinda
Predator Poppy
scary,
there.
and she's just gonna run at you and like heroic charge you into a wall. So that's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a bit interesting to see. I'm also gonna look to see what the rune choices are gonna be on this Illoi. Some Illois actually run Klepto top lane just to get them that early advantage and help them poke out the enemy top laner a lot more, gets more sustain, more income. So let's see here what we have. And I was right, it was the Illoi with the Kleptomancy in the top lane. So no surprises there. We can see the phase rush on the Vladimir with the inspiration. I'm not sure now with 9.6 with minion dematerializer being nerfed if Saber has opted in to actually go for that now that it only has 3 charges instead of 6, which what it used to be on the previous patch.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's going for biscuit delivery as well. We can't really say because he is going to be heavily poked under this matchup because he's going to be a very hard matchup for him. Yeah, really pork. It's going to be a really hard matchup because Nico's auto does a lot of damage. People don't expect it, but it's going to be a really it does a lot of damage. And if Kasa knows how to play around Vladimir, when his blood bar fully fills up and he uses W to dodge, sorry, not dodge, but fake himself and waste his Q, he get dish out a lot of damage and Vlad can't respond to it. So it's going to be a really hard laning phase there because phase rush is that that post 6 rune where you get to pop your ulti, throws 3 spells in. Before that, I don't think phase rush is going to be that useful to him because there is no way where Vlad is going to get that time period where he's going to fully proc his phase rush.
Yeah, well, unless he lands like an EQ auto to.
That's the thing with Nico. A good Nico never gets caught. More than one auto attack because she can easily W. She can use shapeshifter and disappear from there. That's the best part.
We have a pause. Welcome to Sri Lanka, where it's tradition to always start at the pause at the start of a game. We do have a lot of power cuts and stuff happening around the country, so you might expect to see a couple of pauses here and there. But don't worry because we will be keeping you guys entertained. Now, to your point, the phase rush being more of a, mid-game room, after the level 6 mark, yeah, I agree that it's more useful in that case because Vlad will be able to easily dive into the backline with, that added movement speed bonus, drop his Hemoplague and then just go ham into the backline. Especially if he just goes into the troll pool. And we can see that Charger has disconnected from the game. Poppy has, I think, altered herself out of the match for the time. But don't worry, Poppy will be back also soon. And so, Blade, tell me now. We do see Rakan as well as Morgana both running ignites. So they're both looking to play quite aggressive in this laning phase. Now, based on the fact that, Xayah does have a range advantage over the Vayne, and Vayne does technically have somewhat of a weaker early game. How do you expect the outcome to be? Do you think the junglers will be looking to path, towards the bot side and look for those early level 2, level 3 ganks?
I believe, this is quite a tricky bit of matchup because, Charger's playstyle is a little bit different. He is sort of a consistent player where when he decides to play around a sort of lane, he stays there and, he somehow makes his path efficient towards that side. And, Gar is, a similar player like that. He also he also chooses a lane and, he usually camps around 2 lanes and, that's how he goes. Somehow when he goes to the other side, he might, pop a gank out. But other than that, both the players are, they have their mindset. So I'm just wondering, both Sejuani and Poppy can bring a lot of utility. They're both worthy level 2 ganks. They can both deliver level 2 ganks. Yeah. But the thing here you see is that Poppy is you might not expect it from Poppy, but Poppy does a lot of damage from early to mid game. She does have a Q and it does a lot of damage to tanks and either everyone. So you know, Gar has to watch out for that. He can't like, you know, 1v1 Poppy because Poppy is slightly stronger. So that to watch, you know, the Scuttle Crabs will play a lot big role here because, you know, Scuttles will give you vision and Scuttles will tell you where Sejuani is, because if you know Sejuani is coming, you can like, if you have vision on Sejuani's jungle, you can deny a lot of pressure, unlike, you know, other junglers who can, you know, sneak their way in. So, you know, I believe like Gar will lose Scuttles if contested, but it depends on Gar's pathing here, you know, mainly Gar's pathing here, because, you know, with Morgana's, you know, Tormented Soil, they will have quite the wave clear, but I'm not sure how this plays out. It depends on which lane is going to give priority, or are they planning on giving priority to get the Scuttles. Still a surprise. You know, the biggest thing I'm surprised here is that, you know, Casa on Nico. I don't know how this is going to fit into their draft. Like, it makes me question, like, what did it think? What do you think they've had planned in their mind? You know, like, usually when you see a comp, you can tell a lot about it. You know, on the side of FaZe, I can like literally tell what's their plan. But on the side of, you know, Team Red, and there we go, now the disconnects.
We also see that there has been a power cut on somebody's side. I think that's Charger. I mean, he stays quite far away, and in that area, I'm guessing power cuts are quite frequent. Let's just hope that it comes back. So, getting back to your question about Nico. Now, I haven't really seen Casa play this champion before, so I'm curious to see how he's going to play it out. I also feel like, you know, the Nico will fit into this comp pretty well because her ultimate is a very good, you know, engaged tool, especially if she's able to use her E, I believe. Her E is the one that creates a clone and makes her invisible, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes.
So she can use her E ult to navigate a team fight and somehow get to maybe like the Xayah and Rakan in a fight, and, you know, just land that CC and huge amount of damage, followed up with a good snare. Like, that should be, like, you know, give plenty of time for the other members on Red to capitalize and make use of that. Now, what I'd actually like to see, though, from Team Red right now is a level 1 invade, because if they have the Morgana bind, as well as, you know, if Casa levels up his root as well, that is perma CC. And if they go as a 5-man squad, nashastic on the Renekton might also W first. Because he has pressed the attack, it always gives it very strong level 2 power spike that lets Renekton... Oh, speaking of Renekton has also disconnected while Wayne reconnects back into the game. Alright.
I have a slight vibe, you know, this might be a remake. I don't know, because, you know, current... I don't know.
Yeah, the situation in the country is a bit messed up. Welcome to Sri Lanka, people! Yeah!
Yep. We have more power cuts than actual everything. Everything increases. Oh, he's back, thank God.
He is back, however, Charger still has not reconnected the game, and he's the one with the power cut, so we'll see how long more this will be left like this. I mean, again, I'm really looking forward to seeing Team Red, who are also ironically playing side, go for this level 1 invade, because they definitely have the stronger level 1. I mean, if they were able to catch somebody out at level 1, land just 1 CC, that person is guaranteed to die. Like, there's no way they'll be able to flash out of 2 snares and probably 2 stuns as well. So it's gonna be really interesting to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like the weirdest thing is, like, if you like the team comps, like, I think I sort of got it figured out, because, you know, like, maybe on the side of FaZe, as you can see, it's clearly a 5v5 comp. They want those team fights, you know. They want those, like, they have a awesome front line and a back line, and also, you know, a Vlad to, you know, go in sneakily. It's a good team comp. But on the side of Team Red, you do see, I believe they're, you know, they're going for those, you know, skirmish picks where they can, you know, isolate lanes and dominate lanes, those starts. I believe they're going to go for it. Because, you know, like, I don't think to survive a head-on team fight with FaZe, as you do, their front line is very strong. It's, even though they managed to land both their ults, Nico and Morgana, it will be hard for them to, you know, to pass that front line, because they are going to be stacking a lot of magic resist and armor. But, you know,
that's where the Vayne plays a very important role. Because the
indeed.
Vayne, if she can get to that 2 items, just get to the Blade of the Ruin King and the Rage Blade, that's just going to be of shred damage there. So the Sejuani would drop like a fly, and so would the Eloy, especially if Kassa itemizes, like I said, into an early Morello Nomicon. That would be the most ideal selection, because not just Candy Panda, but also the Vladimir. Both of them rely on their sustain and their healing. So in team fights, it's going to play a massive, massive role. And I'm sure Kassa is an experienced mid laner. He's been playing this game for a very long time. Used to actually be someone I used to play against back in the days when it used to be my team versus IG. But Kassa used to play jungle. However, he does have this experience, and I'm sure he'll itemize as what I predict. And also, my prediction on the Aftershock was right. Poppy to give her that bit of damage whenever she does engage. I mean, Predator is going to be really nice to see as well. But the Aftershock, I guess, brings a lot more value to her ganks, as well as to her stats overall, because she can be more tanky. And we all know that a Poppy is a champion who
And it's another
scales
disconnect.
super well in the late game.
Yeah, that is true, but like, the fact is that Poppy has a clear, easy early game, so she has to prioritize on that, because compared to Sejuani, as I said, Poppy does have the advantage. Taking Predator will instantly give her kills. I did see, as I was casting for the European Masters with Serenity Gaming, I did see a lot of Poppy for them. Predator Poppies, because they were taking it on when they had enemy junglers where they had like less of an impact on Sejuani ganks are not that impactful. You can do a tumble, you can do the spell shield, you can bind. If you have a support which can provide escape, Sejuani and like few other junglers lose their effectiveness, but not Poppy, because with her Predator it's like it's menacing. You can't do much, except I don't think except Morgana anyone else can stop a charging Poppy with Predator, because she can literally just it's tempting. People get frustrated, and it's really hard guess what the Poppy is thinking. The Predator brings a lot of pressure. They don't know who's gonna get ball stand. It can be the ADC, it can be this thing. So I think the only 2 people like that can actually disrupt that is Alistar and Morgana. But in this comp we do see Morgana on the other side, and they do not have something something that can disrupt Poppy jungle. So Predator can go a long way, because if Poppy manages to jump on Mojo can't get out. He can't use his W, because Poppy will be having her W, which will which will be a guaranteed lockout for Rakan. Yep. And
like I was saying, anyone with a dash really does find it that really does mean that nobody can really escape or even engage. It all depends on the timing of the Poppy and how she can predict the enemy jungle's pathing, and also try to counter gank, because she'll be very efficient at that, and also making sure people can't W. But right now, since the game is paused and because there are disconnections, we do see here that our referee Booyah had requested for the game to be resumed.
So the game is back, believe. Fake pockets, okay.
Is it a 4v5 right now?
I do not know that.
We will find out very soon. As you can see, people have left their lanes right now.
So I believe Chatur has lost his internet. It's sort of sad. I don't know, man. Internet connections and current connection combined, it's a big headache on Sri Lanka. That's a whole other topic we can, give pros and cons to.
Oh yeah. Wait, what pros? There's no pros. It's just cons. Lots and lots of cons.
That is really true. I mean, I was trying to make it positive, but I can't swear on stream, but there is literally nothing that is good here. So
yeah, that's very true. And also, like, I can see, you can see the Vayne and the Renekton kind of like, progressing towards the mid side here.
Yeah,
I guess,
I
I guess, I guess they're all going for a very safe start. You can see that the Rakan is actually moving towards the bot side to make sure that there is no invade there. We might see some early wards being dropped down just to get some vision, because I'm sure FaZe are aware that they will lose level 1 against an invade here. Especially with the Morgana bind followed by a Nico bind, followed by wall stun, a heroic charge, and then
but you are forgetting, like, Xayah does have lethal tempo. She has started W as well. It's not gonna be easy to break that down, because Xayah with lethal tempo and a W start is gonna be not a fun champion to duel in early game, because she does deal a lot of damage. Once that lethal
in the 2v2 bot lane, I'd definitely say that the early game advantage, especially levels, I'd say levels 1 to 3 or all the way from 1 to 6, is just in the favor of the Xayah Rakan here. Because I mean, finally we see the
he's
reconnect.
back.
Yay!
But I wouldn't say that, because Vayne had that problem earlier, but this patch, these several patches, she's been so strong with a champ like Morgana. I don't think she will even have a problem, because Vayne is gonna out damage Xayah at any phase. That's the problem here, because I'm a little bit afraid of that. Late game, she is gonna out damage Xayah anyways, and the usual build path is rushing Blade of the Ruin King, and Xayah's build path is different. So
usually they start with like an Essence Reaver just to get that extra, that extra mana regen as well as combat power.
But now it's all changed. So it's like Xayah's build path is not defined. It can go both the ways. She can go for Infinity Edge, she can go for the early crate, and it depends on how Kratos is gonna play, because Xayah is, she did rise up, but her win rate is not that steady. Even despite the buff, her win rate is still struggling. So like, I believe, like, they must have some sort of plan in here. It's still confusing. Like, I am confused the fact that they drafted this bot lane over Vayne Morgana. Like,
the thing is, I mean, Xayah Rakan, I'd say, is quite strong. I mean, you may not think about it, but if you think about the fact that once the Black Shield has timed out, or the fact that the Black Shield has been cast on the ADC, that would make Morgana completely vulnerable to all that CC and all that damage. And Morgana is not a tanky champion. Rakan is a bit more tankier and has a bit more sustain, but Morg is just, mostly there for the peel as well as the poke, and, to keep her ADC safe with the Black Shield. But if we do see, like, the bot lane, the side of nA.Phase hit level 2 first, I am definitely expecting all in immediately on that level 2 power spike, because that way Morgana will not have her Black Shield, and that would guarantee probably, a WE Blade Call followed with the Rakan engage. So I'm excited. And we might even see Guard just come in for a cheesy level 2 gank as well, so...
yeah. So I think both the junglers are starting in the bot side, so they are going to contest for that scuttle, so it's going to be, as I expected, there might be some sort of fight going on. So that is pretty expected, and we do see a nice poke coming from, nA.Phase. He does give a lot of damage to Candy. And as I said, Kasa is playing to his strength. He is, he's playing on Vlad. As I said, he is, going back when he's blood buff, doing those stuff. And in bot lane, we do see the classic, the bot laning phase where they all, do the faking thing till they're, they rush the push to level 2. And
yeah, and also actually my game has gotten bugged. It's stuck in the mid lane and nothing's happening.
Alright, so till then I will.
Yeah, just take
I'll go by what's happening. So we did see, the bot lane has won the level 2 push, and the top lane, Candy is taking a lot of heavy damage, but Candy lands a nice test of soul there, test of spirit. My bad. So and nA.Phase does take a lot of damage, and nA.Phase is taking too much damage there. I believe nA.Phase made a misstep there, and in bot lane we do see, the lane pushing in the side of as you said, the lanes are pushing in the side of into the side of Team Red, and we do see both the junglers are parting like parallel jungle. So this does confuse me because both junglers are not prioritizing the bot side, so they are gonna go for that that top lane gang.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, mate, what exactly is your time right now?
My time will be 3:21. Now it's 3:24. So
okay, I'm on 3:07, so it's going to
move
forward a little bit.
We do see first blood goes on the side to nA.Phase. They do grab a nice first blood, and Morgana is a little bit too late to react there, and they do grab the first blood. And I do see Charger coming in on the side of top lane, but it is too late. nA.Phase reacts to it by the ward and does escape, and that was really well played. And Lemonade's just misstep, and he pays for it with his life.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was telling you about. They hit the level 2, they get the advantage, and then they immediately, take that opportunity and use that. And it worked well for them because they were not only able to kill the Vayne, but also secure first blood on the Xayah, and that is huge for the side of nA.Phase here. This just means that Xayah is just going to be ahead in this laning phase, and now it doesn't matter, even if Vayne was to get an item and, match up on the CS here, because that kill advantage is just going to be so huge on this Xayah. She's already got a pickaxe and a boot picked up here at just 4 minutes into the game. So this is just putting right now that it's going to be very difficult for the bot lane of Red to actually get anything done. You can see some trading going on there in the mid lane as well as in the top lane. Because nishastic is going in for a very bad trade. He's just taking so much damage here.
So I believe
he does have the level advantage, but still took more damage from the trade, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't understand why, he does have the wave advantage, but he does, he just went into an Illaoi where he had Test of Spirit. She just used Test of Spirit, and both his soul and himself are nearby, so that's going to be double the damage. I believe the entire Team Red should, rethink their trading stance, because they are taking really bad trading stance. As you see, Lemonade's did make a really bad misstep. He just walked into Xayah and Rakan, and I don't know why he did that. He just walked into them and he just gave first blood. I believe it might be due to the connection. It was really out of the way because he did just walk into them and give the first blood. So I'm confused. Maybe they should improvise their trading patterns here, because it is gonna cost them.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can see right now, I mean, this is you can see that the Vayne is keeping up in terms of CS here, but it looks like, Kratos and Mojo want to keep this wave here, so that they'll have more pressure and, try and maybe freeze the wave here, because they do have the kill advantage in the bot lane here. Whereas, I just need to quickly change the order of my champs here.
So the other fact is that, most as a fact, I would like to make this statement. They are, they should be, really aware, because I see most of the teams, getting debated for the ganks.
Actually, there by Lemonade escaping that. There, he had to burn his flash. Good timing there from him, but that was also really good timing from the jungles. That it's not warded, and he could find the gank there. So Gar coming out on top, putting this lane even further behind now. Now that there's no flash.
Yeah, but Mike, that's one of my biggest concern is that these all these teams, they're not paying attention for the details. As both the bot lane came late on both the sides, so in that case they should know the bot lane has entered, the jungler has entered parallel jungling, so they are gonna be parallel to their jungle. So if Poppy is on the blue side, that means Sejuani is also going to be in the red side, as parallel to Poppy. So it should be really obvious at this point, a team of...
And you can see now a huge fight happening here in the top lane. You can see Candy Panda dropping the ultimate, nishastic answering with his Dominus as well. But you can see that now Candy Panda has backed away, but this Dominus is still giving that extra fury to the Renekton here, who does seem to have the advantage in lane. Now he's even picked up a first item Executioner's Calling. Now that is very smart there, knowing that this Illaoi has a lot of sustain to pick up that item to start things off. Very impressed, to see this, but just taking so much free damage here. He's not even using his Q to heal anything up, and Renekton ends up just throwing away that advantage he just gave him.
Yeah, the worst fact is that I do see him, his trading patterns are in false. He has to rethink his game plan. He can't, keep getting, he can't be like getting caught on the test of spirit, because he is gonna end up dead. Illaoi is a scaling champion.
That's really true.
So he has to, really watch out. That I'm concerned. Player of caliber of nishastic should be really aware of those trading patterns. He can't just go in and expect to dish out the damage, and he is blindly going in. He's not even using his slice and dice properly. He's just going in and he's not even, as you said, he's not using his Q. He's just, I believe something is disrupting there. Maybe the first.
Morgana accidentally used her Black Shield on herself here, which means that this is an ideal spot for Kratos and Mojo to actually freeze the wave, because now there is no flash, there is no Black Shield, and if Wayne missteps
and we do see Vladimir pathing towards bot lane. This might be a sneaky kill, and Vlad is slowly coming in, but
they knew something was up. It was communicated that the Vlad was missing from the lane, and even though there's no red side wards in the river, I'm sure the communication there must have just implied that they're looking for a bot lane, because they know themselves that the Vayne does not have a flash, and because of that, there will be a lot of aggression moving towards the bot side. You see Candy Panda is coming. There's a 2v2 in the top lane. A good heroic charge into the wall. Stops Candy Panda, but he's going to go in and probably ultimate here.
I believe it's going to be a kill for side of Team Red, and that is well played. And Flash is burned by Sejuani, and I think a bot is going into fight it, and Lemonade goes into his ult, and I think it's going to be a kill. Oh my god.
It was actually now you can see that they're just diving on the top lane here. I'm not sure Gar wanted to stay there.
I think the kill is gonna be picked up by nishastic. Well done, that really well done, Walston. I think the teleport is coming in. I believe you're gonna see a lot of action, but
get this kill also, because this is a Illaoi without flash right now. They should probably turn this around.
All right, they are going in, and but
I'm not sure why Poppy did not follow up.
I think it's gonna be a kill. I think he can grab it, but he just barely walks it. But it's so surprising. I think they can go for the dive here, but he is low. He did lose his priority.
They are definitely gonna go for this dive. I'm sure of it. Here comes Poppy. Now let's see how Candy Panda reacts to that. He's probably gonna forfeit. He's just gonna ult under there and use his top. That was beautiful.
Really well played.
Wow. Now that is what you call very good decision making there. Yeah.
Just purely outplayed.
Custer's also here on the top side. Will try and look to go in with the ultimate. He's gonna land his ultimate here. And the flash is not gonna matter. There's enough damage in Nishas. No. But Custer actually picks himself up a good rotation there. Good end by the side of Red here. And you can see now, this is getting really interesting. It's 3 kills to 3 kills. And even though there is a slight goal lead in the favor of Team nA.Phase here, it's only 200 gold. So
and
anything.
That was a very delayed response by their mid laner, because by the time Saber was pinging that their mid laner was missing, Kasa had already passed towards the top side. And as I said, the problem I addressed earlier is that Poppy is really finding it hard to deliver those good ganks. As you said, she did give one good gank, but before that, you should have seen the amount of ganks she were denied to, because she couldn't, get the perfect wall stun. I believe, Predator, right angle. Predator would have solved this, but Poppy is wasting a lot of her early game potential here, because Sejuani is just camping every single part. She's getting those, she's getting her team ahead, while Poppy has to angle everything. She has to wait for it. That is a really minus for this team, but right now they are in the game. They are working around it, which I'm happy about it. On the side of I think Vayne is it's a good thing that Team FaZe has kept Vayne under the briefs, but I don't think it's gonna last much longer, because she is gonna scale. She does have her cutlass, while Xayah does have her BF sword and a pickaxe.
It's an engager. They're actually going to go in for Kratos. He's going to probably get stunned into the wall. He has to flash away. Good flash, but
that is going to be more. Oh my god.
And Wayne secures the kill. A good ultimate.
I think it's going to be picked up. I think it's going to be a triple kill for Wayne. I think it's going to be a triple kill. I think he can kite it, but that was really upsetting to see, but you know, it was.
I mean,
I don't know.
it's really good for this win because she was able to actually get the kill on the Xayah. And suddenly I feel like even though there's a CS lead of like 23, which is basically more than a kill in the favor of Xayah, this does give Vayne a little bit of extra goal to, you know, scale a bit better into this game. And you can see that Poppy is having a really hard time clearing his blue buff. Almost dying there, actually. I mean, yeah, this game is just like chaotic.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Exactly. I don't really understand what anyone is doing here. It just boggles my mind. Like,
yeah, it's just non-stop
there he goes.
This is what happens in Korean games.
This is a fact. You know, he is going in when the test of spirit is on. This just, I don't. Why is he going?
I guess that is one way of, you know, kind of like surprising an Eloy. An Eloy would expect the enemy to run away, but when the enemy runs at you, you're just like, whoa, wait, what?
Oh my god. Surprise.
And we did see a pause here, but I mean, oh wow. I mean, just having a look at that previous, you know, like, gank in the bot lane, like, it was just very good patience, you know, patience and timing from Lemonades to make sure he gets that last hit in. And I mean, all credits to that Morgana. She's engaged this fight, immediately black shielding herself and going straight into her ultimate and, you know, locking down the Xayah as well as the Rakan there. And the, you know, the fallout from the Poppy, you know, that was enough along with the Ignite to, you know, pick up that kill for the Vayne. And now, I mean, you can see that the advantage is actually in the favor of, in the mid lane is in favor of the Nico because she was able to actually pick up a kill. You can see she's starting with a Luden's Echo, which is, I guess, not bad because it gives her that extra wave clear and extra poke damage. But she definitely has to go for a Morella Nomicon second item. I mean, that is undeniable. I'm pretty sure the rest of the people on the team communicated and told her that as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. The only person here who actually has surprisingly good stats is the Rakan. The Rakan has 2 kills, if you haven't noticed.
Dude, yeah, that is, you know, surprising in fact. You know, he is playing his best. You know, Rakan did give the good engages, but I really don't know. Maybe, you know, Rakan is, you know, planning to scale up. He is. It happens, you know. So, you know, it's in bot lane. I do have a saying, you know, when I play solo queue and my support gets the kill accidentally, I just say, you know, it's like if they get better, you also get better, you know.
Anyway, having a Rakan with, like, you know, 2 kills under his name gives him that, you know, just gives him a little bit of added laning power, you know, against this Morgana, because he'll be able to get his items and complete his items a lot faster than the Morgana will. So,
did you see Rakan grabbing like deep vision over there? He is, you know, warding, you know.
He's
Rakan locked
here.
Up.
Yeah, Stunlock does take a bit of damage, but there's
I don't think there's much that can happen here. But, you know, Vlad is there and he's gonna have to let go. But, you know, I believe this would have been a good opportunity for the bot lane to collapse on Vayne, collapse on Xayah, but they did not do that. So
that probably was a very good, you know, chance. But you could tell that, you know, Xayah knew that she was alone and probably just stayed back, played it safe. I mean, she'll only probably just miss a few CS, nothing, you know, too serious here.
That's true. Well, we do see another fight going to break down. We do see Gar engaging on Charger, and they are trying to go in and stun.
People are collapsing. He's going to use his ultimate, but gets stunned.
Oh my god, that's a. I think he's gonna flash on.
Fall here. The kill is gonna go to Candy Panda, and now Nishastik has to go away. Kind of jumps in with an ult, but a beautiful.
That is a beautiful ult.
You know, Saber keeps him alive, but now he ignites and goes in and gets the double kill. Oh, and now the ultimate is dropped. Candy Panda is gonna get the triple kill here. And that was a big misplay and miscalculation by there. You know, Poppy getting caught out and then the rest trying to respond to that. But as everybody knows, the team who initiates on the other team first is usually going to come out on top. And this time, it was some really good rotations and really good reading from the side nA.Phase that lets Gar start off that fight and actually initiate it beautifully. And that pull by Vladimir was so clutch. He used it just as Nico's ultimate was landing. So props and kudos to Saber on just, you know, doing his best. I mean, he didn't get a kill there, unfortunately, and Candy does pull here. But again, now the lead has swung in favor of nA.Phase, who are now almost 2k gold, almost 3k gold ahead of their opponents right now.
It did, yes. The fact that they did have a good engage, but the bad part that Illaoi, she does excel at close. She needs those closed corridors, where you can just clump up all her tentacles and deal a lot of damage. It was really bad part on them to
it's like straight out of hentai, man, like tentacles.
Yeah, they just fought at like a close. It was like a private room for Illaoi. You just give her all the tools.
She was like, "Oh, you guys want to fight me in this closed combat area? Well, okay, I'm just gonna pop my ultimate and watch you all die." And that's exactly what Illaoi did. I mean, and also don't forget that Vladimir's damage was also amplified with that ultimate there as well. So that was a surprising amount of burst that just came out immediately. And I don't think, Red were expecting so much damage come out from that Vladimir in that fight there. But again, it was all because of Gar being in the right place at the right time, catches out the puppy just as the lanes were put in the favor well as the top lane, so they were able to get the collapse before Red could really respond on time. And by the time they did respond, it was a little too late. And also Gar was just so perfectly, well calculated on his ultimate. He used it just before Poppy could release the ultimate, so literally turned the fight around. Very good plays here from nA.Phase, just showing us why they're one of the top teams in Sri Lanka, who've even given Lanka Lions a run for their money and actually have taken them down.
It's true, but I believe the correct call here would have been niko roaming bot, because that was a guaranteed death for.
Speaking of roaming bot, have a look at the map. You can see 4 people actually moving towards this bot lane. They want to try and get priority on this Drake here, which is going to be very big for them now that they have a lead. Any team that has a lead should probably try and make use of the fact that they do have that extra siege power with an early Earth Drake.
That is true, but but I believe they should avoid fighting.
Oh, why is nishastic going in? He doesn't even have Fury here. Why is he just inting here? Just straight up inting there.
Yeah, as I mentioned, his trading patterns are a big question.
Yeah, that was a very questionable play there. nishastic could have just simply backed away, but instead he chose to just take a Q to the face and an ultimate to the face. He didn't have ultimate.
And that is going to be first blood turret as well, which concerns me because there is no response to it. Because by the time Kasa reaches the turret, it's going to be first blood, and that is a huge amount of gold. She's going to go.
That niko is moving to the top lane, but now she knows that Candy Panda is going to recall. She's going to have to path her way back to the mid lane here now to pick up this creep wave. Well, you can see Vladimir is moving towards the bottom side of the map. He's just going to go back in and clear the other ward that Poppy had placed down earlier. And you can see that this is a very strong vision game by the side of nA.Phase. They seem to have, not only put in deep vision, but also get their wards in the right places to scout out this Poppy's movements. And now that nishastic is at a severe disadvantage in the top lane. I mean, he hasn't even completed a full item yet. He has the makings of a Black Cleaver. He does have a Tiamat, which is understandable. And I mean, it's just at this point, I think that not nA.Phase, but rather PnX Red just need to calm down and not try to look to start up too many fights, but just hold their lanes, hold their towers, do not give away any more than this. Because now they've lost priority in the mid lane and in the bot lane. They're not in a position to contest this Drake. I mean, they know that it's happened, but they won't be able to get here on time. This Drake should be secure. You can see Charger does coming. Oh my god, he lands his ultimate. He's going to go in here and get the steal. While a fight breaks out in the top lane. A good ultimate there by niko, but Saber going into the troll pool. Mojo has to flash away, but you can see that Zaya is untouched in this fight, dealing so much damage. nishastic teleports in, but to no avail. It's a big 5v5 fight happening here. And he's going to follow
really nice.
Triple kill for the Zaya. He's making that a quadra. nishastic is running for his life. He's going to flash over the wall. He does throw his spears now, but oh my god, what team fight. That was crazy. Like, that was so well played by nA.Phase. They immediately turned on the PnX Red the moment they came into the Dragon Pit. I mean, let me see, like, who picked up the Drake there? Was Charger able to pick up the Drake in that exchange there? He was able to knock the Sejuani away, but did he get the Drake? Yes, Poppy was able to steal the Drake, but at the cost of 4 of his teammates and a triple kill on the Xayah. So tell me, Blade, do you think that was worth?
You asked me it was worth. Now, that definitely is not worth in terms of goals, but you know, I do feel it. You know, maybe they are, you know, thinking like, you know, we can go for late game. Late game is where we're gonna shine. I believe they are in that mindset, and you know, I believe there's some sort of discomfort going around the team because I don't think that this is the usual Team Red playing, because they are. I do feel like the top laner is very uncomfortable on his Renekton because he is constantly making mistakes, and you know, they had
strange, you know, because nishastic is also a very good Eloy player. I've seen him play Eloy before and single-handedly carried this team. You know, on that Eloy, so he should know that champion better than he's playing against her. So it's very confusing to me.
I believe something's going on. Maybe it's some sort of, I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of dismay between the team. You know, I hope they settle it because you know the game is not lost. You know, even though it's like Vayne is the golden ticket here. She is. Yeah, you can get her ahead.
Yeah.
So I believe, you know, they have to funnel the farm into Vayne rather than, you know, like trying to go for those cheesy engages. But now is a time to stop those skirmishes. You know, the skirmishes should have been done, you know, earlier in the game. So I believe now they should just focus on funneling the farm into Vayne. So that is the only way they can win, because I believe the team nA.Phase is, you know, planning for the Baron. You know, they are getting the vision around the Baron. So
I mean, they are well set to take it at this point. They don't necessarily have the advantage of having that, having that Earth Drake on their side, you know, to help them with the siege on the Baron. But you can see that none of the towers have fallen. All 3 tier 1 turrets are healthy on the side of nA.Phase. That just means that there is no pressure at all from the side of Team Red here, because I mean, they're trying to look for fights and you know, they feel like they have what it takes to come out on top in these team fights, but they are forgetting that they're playing against a comp that is quite legitimately gonna out team fight them at any stage of this game until the Vayne is fed. But until that time, they're not in a position to, you know, afford to be making mistakes like, going in for bad fights and taking bad, trades and making bad decisions. I mean, earlier at the Drake, they could have simply just sent only the Poppy to try and maybe steal the Drake, because then it's only one loss. The Poppy will die, maybe they'll get the Drake, but then they won't lose so many other kills. Oh, you can see that Kratos does get engaged on. I feel like it was a bait. Envy using his stopwatch here, but will immediately get destroyed there. Charger does come in, lands a good heroic charge on the Vladimir, who will be taken down by nishastic, and that's a 1-for-1 trade there. So I guess that's okay. You can see that Red are keeping themselves still alive in this game. But meanwhile, in the mid lane, you can see Candy Panda is going to be engaged on here. Does land a good ultimate, and oh my goodness, the damage is definitely going to kill that Nico. One more hit would do it, but then the return kill comes through while the tier 2 turret in the top lane falls as well. And another fight breaks up because the Renekton is ignited. He's not going to heal as much anymore. He is able to slice and dice away, but he's flashed on by Gar and stunned up. But I don't think that's what you want to do. You can see Final Hour is, by the way, is going to go and needs to get one more auto attack, and that's good enough. When flashes forward, but there's no more follow-up, and again, there's more trades of kills happening here, 1-for-1, and these fights just keep breaking out. But again, it just seems to be like it's all working in favor of nA.Phase here, don't you think?
Yeah, you're missing the bigger picture here. I just, I'm happy about the fact that, Lemonade is going to come online, because I believe he is going to be Rage Blade ready, because all those gold might, if he gets his Rage Blade, it's going to be really hard, because despite the fact that Xayah does have 2.5 items complete, if Vayne gets her Rage Blade, it is going to be really hard to fight. I think they are pathing towards the Earth Drake, and I believe they can secure it too in time because their jungler is really far away, and there is no way they can do it in time also. So I believe a second Earth Drake is gonna go if more.
They just need to disengage now. They just need to get out of here because they got the objective. Now they shouldn't. Oh, Nico didn't really have a flash there. She was okay.
Or she just flashed out of.
That was just a panic flash. I feel.
Yeah, I believe
What's nA.Phase doing? He can see that everybody's in the mid lane. Nish, what are you doing?
I believe some sort of falling out is happening on the side of their team. I believe there's some sort of major miscommunication or.
Yeah, he thought he was surrounded, but if he just looked at the map, he could see 4 people mid lane there. That was a creep wave. If he looked at his mini-map, he could have just been like, oh wait, I'm not under any threat here. You can see Poppy does come in, Kasa goes in with the ultimate, but it will not be enough to stop nA.Phase from taking this. Lemonades gets caught out and taken down as well, and this will be Drake going, the Baron going over to nA.Phase, but Poppy does charge in here, but is not able to get the smite. That was a very good attempt at the end, but now, oh no, just the pieces. The nails of the coffin are being pummeled into the side of nA.Phase here. Just some really bad calls happening, like, a wasted flash. Renekton just dying to the turret being completely. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on. There's some serious miscommunication here.
Yes, I'm afraid of that too. They are. I don't like the way this is going.
Neither do I. If nA.Phase just looked at his minimap, he'd notice that he was not being chased. They had bigger priorities than trying to chase and kill a Renekton. So he just dies to the turret and just ends up giving that Baron over for free, as well as 2 extra kills on top of that. Make that 3 extra kills on top of that. Now you can see that this Baron power play has come in quite into effect. And there's a goal lead over 10,000 right now. 10,100 is a goal lead. 6 turrets to 0 on the side of nA.Phase. And they're just looking absolutely dominant at this stage. And they might even look to end the game at this point. And they're just going with this 1-3-1 comp and pushing in the waves. And there's nothing
I believe
at this point.
I believe I have discontent.
Are you lagging? Are you... Unseen Blade, are you with me, my man? It doesn't look like it. Anyway, guys, Unseen Blade may have temporarily disconnected for now, but I will keep casting this match for you. You can see on the side now, if you're just tuning in, it's 29 minutes into the game. nA.Phase with a more than 11,000 goal lead are looking to secure the mid lane inhibitor. They break a fight out. Rakan south of the beautiful engage. Envy has to use the ultimate on the Morgana. He's able to pin 2 people in. A beautiful ultimate there by the Nico. He's able to secure the kill. But then the return kill comes through. Oh my goodness, you can see that Vladimir just flashes in, getting a triple kill. Make that a quadra? No, I'm not sure if it is a quadra or not, but now another fight breaks into the top lane, and that is an ace and game over for Red. PnX Red have been absolutely destroyed in this match by nA.Phase. They tried to match the team fight, they tried to match the lane pressure, they tried to contest objectives, but nA.Phase was always one step ahead in every single call there. From the start to finish, this team showed some exemplary teamwork and have shown why they are the favorites coming into this to win this best of 3 series. And nA.Phase, as the Nexus falls, takes game.
Hello guys, hello.